Hey guys, welcome to Getting Over It. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so that you never miss an episode.
You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or watch us on YouTube.
Hi guys, and welcome back to Getting Over It. I'm Lucy.
And I'm Ellie.
And this week we are talking about ghosting.
Yes.
The word ghosting. Like, I want to ask you, like, what does ghosting mean to you? Because I just feel like there's so many different layers, levels. Like, what is ghosting to you?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard, isn't it? Because we're in, like, a world now where we talk to people online before we even meet them. And it's kind of like, is ghosting acceptable when you've only spoken to someone online?
Yeah.
You know, there is so many layers. Yeah. But, like, I think that it's especially bad, like, if you've actually met them in person and then they ghost you. Like, no, that for me is proper true ghosting. Yeah. And
it's awful.
Really sad. You're like, what is wrong with me?
So bad. You really question yourself, don't you? But yeah, no, I feel like ghosting back in the day was like, there was just so many, like, less ways of communicating.
Yeah.
So it could genuinely be a mistake or miscommunication. Yeah. And so I feel like ghosting didn't really used to be a thing. Like, it was a thing, but it wasn't what it is today. Because now, like you say, like, I could be texting someone on Instagram before I've even met them. And then if they just stopped replying to me, I've technically been, like, ghosted. Yeah. So it's become this whole thing of, like...
But you could be talking to so many people at once. Like,
that's true.
Because you know that the guy that you're talking to is probably talking to 10 other girls. Yeah. So is he...
What kind of place do you live in?
Is he going to go through every single girl and say, hey, like, I'm just letting you know, like, I'm not into this. You know, it's really complicated. Whereas back in the day, like, you had to speak face to face. You had to actually address something and say, oh, I don't want to speak to you. You couldn't just go silent and disappear off the face of the earth. Yeah. So, I don't know. But I am a ghoster.
Are you? Are you a ghoster?
I am a ghoster. So I'm here like, oh my God, it's so wrong that guys do that. And I'm like, I love to ghost. I do.
What's your typical ghost then? Do you, like, tend to ghost people you've never met, or everyone, even people you've met? Like,
yeah, it's like people I've never met. I think for me, like, I'm just so closed off that I get in these, say, right, I'll sit at home and I'll watch, like, a romantic movie, and then I'll get in the headspace of, like, oh, I really want a boyfriend. So then I'll go onto Hinge, or I'll go on to Instagram.
It's the late night boredom on Hinge, isn't it?
It's the boredom. And then I go on it and I think, do you know what? My soulmate could be on here. My soulmate. So I go on, I'll, like, match with someone, I'll talk to them, or I don't know, message someone back on Instagram that, like, has been in my requests or whatever, or I'll message someone and I'll have a conversation with them that night. I'll be all romantic and feel like I'm falling in love and I'm in a film. And then the next day I wake up and I think, oh no, what was I doing? What was I doing? And then I just go.
So then you just don't reply. Yeah. No, because I was going to say, like, I don't think I'm a ghoster.
Are you not?
But that's what I mean when it comes to, like, levels of ghosting and what do you count as ghosting? Because if we're talking, you've matched someone on a dating app, you've spoke a couple of times, like, you've exchanged a few messages, then you never speak again. I don't really class that as ghosting, but if that is classed as ghosting, then okay, I do fall into that category. But yeah, like you say, like, all right, we've said, like, the hey, how are you, blah, 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 we've chatted for a little bit, and then it's like, okay, like, I'm done. Like, yeah. I just don't think that's ghosting.
I know what you mean. I think the thing is, like, when you do that, it's like, say I do that to other people, but if someone does it to me, I'm like, oh, what's wrong with me? What did I say wrong? I overthink.
Yeah, I think I half expect it on dating apps.
Yeah.
Like, if a guy just, like, ghosted me after a few messages, it wouldn't offend me, because I'd be like, well, it was kind of expected, we're on a dating app, like...
Yeah.
But would you get offended?
I don't know. I'm very sensitive and very insecure, so I'd be like, okay, right, so I'm a loser. No one wants to date me. I've never had a boyfriend.
Then, all right.
But no, I think, honestly, a lot of it just comes from, like, insecurity, and I do this thing, so I don't know if like, you do this too. If you're not a ghoster, maybe not. But if I am talking to someone and I start to actually like them or think, oh, this could go somewhere, I'm so because
you don't need to whisper that, Ellie. I feel like
we know. I will ghost them first because I get in my head and I think, oh, this is going really well. They're going to ghost me. Then I'm going to be sad. So instead of that happening, I will just ghost them first.
No, I get what you're saying. That's kind of self-sabotage in a way.
Yeah, I do. I self-sabotage.
No, I 100% get what you're saying there. I tend to... I like match people's energy. So if they're coming at me with like one message a day, you're getting one message a day back from me. If you're taking 5 hours to reply, like, or if you like disappear for a week and then reappear, I give them the same level of energy. So I feel like I get it in my head. Like I'm someone, I'm like, even if they like don't deserve a text back, I get it in my head that I'm an awful person if I don't reply. And like I really try and like fizzle it out and get like longer and longer replies and hope they get a hint. But yeah, sometimes they don't, and you do just have to go. So I've had a situation recently.
Okay, I'm interested.
So I was seeing a guy. I feel like I kept mentioning him on this podcast, and then I was like, we're not seeing each other anymore. I was like, I can't ghost him. Like, we've actually been dating. Like, you can't do that to someone you've been dating. So I like...
Yes,
for those listening, Ellie just in her face as though, yeah, you can. So my motto is, don't do to someone what you wouldn't want doing to yourself. So if he had decided he didn't want to like date me anymore, I would have wanted like the respect of telling me, like, I don't need a like full essay on why, but like I need the respect of like, okay, I'm just kind of like not into this. I like messaged him explaining, it's just like, you know, for me right now, blah, 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 no, whatever you tell people when you don't want to be with them. And he like wasn't getting the hint a little bit. So then I was trying, like, I'd reply, but stuff that he couldn't really respond to, like, to be nice, because it's like, I don't want to be. And then it got to the point where he said something else that like he missed me or something, and it's really sweet, like I'm not taking the mick out of him, but like my friends were like, I just don't think he's getting the point, and you have like already kind of dumped him in a way, so you might just have to just ghost and not reply. And I felt so bad. I was like, I can't do that. And they were like, you've literally told him it's over, like what more can you do? Like you just have to ghost. So I did find myself just ghosting his last message, which I felt awful about. But
yeah, but it's hard if someone's not getting the message. Like, what do you do at that point if you have told them straight up? Like, do you think it's better to just be straight up and say, I'm not into this anymore?
Yeah, I do. I would much rather that than ghosting.
So wait, why did you ghost this guy?
Which guy?
The guy that you ghosted.
Because he wasn't getting the hint.
Oh, so yeah, but why were you not into it anymore? Like, was there a reason that you decided that you needed to ghost? That's what I mean.
I just got the ick, and then every time I saw him after that, I just couldn't snap out of the ick. Like, everything he did icked me out.
Was there anything specific that gave you the ick? I'm just thinking for our listeners, and they
like,
can know what might lead to a ghosting. Yeah, like.
Well, I feel like I didn't ghost him because I was honest with him and I said, look, blah, blah, blah.
But in the end, you had to ghost.
In the end, I had to ghost because he kept messaging me. Yeah. So I was like, if I keep messaging back, he's going to think that he can keep messaging back. So that's a reason. What is a reason for ghosting? I'm trying to think now. I don't really ghost though. That's
I guess it is just like getting the ick or just.
Yeah. Well, what's a reason you've ghosted someone?
Just like the way they've said hey. Like if they say,
Ellie, I'm dead.
If they message me like I hate basic responses. Like when they're like, so what are you up to? I think, oh my god, are we on MSN in 2007? Yeah. Are we?
Yeah.
No, it's like, it's 2023.
You too?
I know. I think, oh my God, what's he going to send me next? One of them things that flashes up on the screen, like those, you know what I mean, the animations. But yeah, I think just any like basic response, and not really, you can tell they're having that same conversation with so many different girls.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but then I don't, if someone's just popping up in my DM and I think it's a bit of a weird, or like you say, it's like a hey, or they're not really giving anything and I just see it and don't respond, I don't think that's ghosting.
Yeah.
I feel like ghosting is if you've actually been dating someone and then they just cut off. To me, that's ghosting. No? Yeah? I don't know.
It's complicated, this topic.
System.
But so, have you been ghosted?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we're getting on to the juicy stuff.
So I've been ghosted. I was trying to think before the podcast about some stories.
I need to. Yeah.
So there was this one guy. He ghosted me twice.
Okay. That's always good.
That's always good, isn't it? So we went on like 3 dates, 2021, like October time or something. And I, for the life of me, can't remember how that one ended. but I got ghosted, like, definitely. And then when I moved back to Manchester, like, September last year, I, like, reached out again because I thought, maybe there was something there, maybe there wasn't. It's been a year, like, we'll see. And we went on another, like, few dates, and then we were supposed to meet up one day for, like, another date. And he was like, oh, not going to be able to make it today. Like, forgot I said I was watching the football with the lads. I was like, great.
Wow. He's got a very important thing.
At least he was honest, but I was like, all right.
Yeah.
Red flag. And then, yeah, I literally replied, like, oh, no worries. Like, have a good day. Like, and he was like, we'll have to do something in the week. I was like, yeah, perfect. Never spoke to me ever again. Ghosted.
Did you message him like, so hey?
No,
yeah.
That's the thing with me. Like, I feel like younger me, when I really liked a guy, you'd find a reason to, like, if they hadn't spoke to you in like a few days, you'd be like to your friends, oh, like, what should I bring up? Like, is there something I can bring up to him? Like, is there a conversation starter I can, like, see? Like, oh, like, reply to a story to get back in, like having a conversation with them. But now, honestly, if you ghost me or if you're giving me the energy of, like, responding in a date, like, I'm gonna match it. I don't care, because I'm a big believer. If he wanted to, he would.
If he wanted to, he definitely would.
Do you know what I mean? And I was like, the fact that he'd done it the year before as well.
Yeah.
I was like, he's obviously not interested. Like, it's fine.
And the fact that it's to watch football, like, I just think, oh my God, like, that is like the lamest excuse.
It was what it was for me. Is he actually made the point of being like, yeah, but we'll do something next week. So, like,
yeah, like, what's the point? Just
and then you ghosted me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got ghosted. That one was like, it didn't hurt more the first time, because the first time round I really liked him, and I was like, he didn't like me. Like, I felt a little bit rejected. I was like, okay, for him it was just like a DTF, like, whatever.
Yes.
Like, and DTF.
Sorry, I'm not down with the kids.
And then the second time, I kind of was expecting it, because I was like, well, if it goes like it did before.
Yeah.
And he gave very just, like, chill energy and, like, not wanting something serious. But I was like, well, I don't. So, like, we can make it not serious. But then he was like, nah, it never ends like that, though. Someone always gets feelings. And I was like, you're trying to make out as though I'm going to, like, fall in love with you, because I'm not. But anyway, I'm glad he ghosted me.
I hate when guys do that.
I know.
When they're like, oh, but I'm complicated and someone's gonna get
maybe
hurt.
I'm just DTF.
I think maybe you just need to be honest and not just make up this and then they, like, make out like they're this complicated character from, like, a movie, like, oh, I'm so complicated, like, I'm gonna hurt you. I just think, oh my God, cringe.
Yeah,
cringe
I know.
Me out.
Yeah, because I saw him on a night. I swear, if you like, oh, he'll probably know who he is.
Me?
No, he will probably know who he is, but I mean, he's probably
Sorry.
not listening to this podcast anyway.
I was like, is it my ex?
But yeah, you know who he is. It's what now. I forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh dear, we've gone off topic. There's just so many layers
I know,
to this.
there's too many layers to it. But yeah, so an example of being ghosted back in the day when I was like, please talk to me, love me, pick me, choose me. He just, like, he didn't, like, officially just ghost gone. He did the whole, like, trying to let it fizzle out, and then, like, taking, like, days to respond or this and that. So then back in the day I was like, but I really like him, and maybe he's just busy, and maybe he's just, and you make excuses, don't you? And you're like, so I would, like, keep messaging him, and then it got to the point where I was like, no, something is up here. And he gave me the whole, like, speech of, like, yeah, it was just like, I'm just really busy, I ain't got time, blah blah. But I was like, no, we can just, like, still talk.
Oh, it's so sad, isn't it?
So
like,
sad.
And you look back and you think, oh my God,
yeah,
I was such a loser.
Like, I was such a loser at 18. No, actually, I was younger than 18.
Oh, you were so young.
Yeah,
like,
I was
that
young.
Doesn't even.
So I, like, didn't let this guy ghost me. I was, like, that person. But yeah, he ghosted me. Sad times.
I did that though. When this guy ghosted me, and he told me, like, I can't really remember. He came up with some kind of excuse, and then I was like, I did my FBI research and, like, clawed through that one and was like, well, that's not true. And then he told me that his grandma had died, and I was like, all right, I'm really, really sorry. Then I did more research, and I was like, I don't think his grandma's dead.
No.
I was like, I don't think his grandma's dead. And this was when I first started TikTok. So then I did a TikTok about someone telling me their grandma had died, but the grandma wasn't actually dead, they just wanted to ghost me. And then he messaged me like, no, my grandma has actually died, like, that's really disrespectful. And I was like, I'm really sorry. Like, I got in my head too much about that one.
Ellie.
I know. That was
because like
don't cancel me. I'm crazy. I can't help it.
I get the whole like a family member died to get out of work, but like to ghost someone, you don't.
Yeah,
need to,
he just like didn't have the energy
about a grandma. You could just ghost someone.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
I think it was like that he had so much on his plate right now which I totally get. I'm so sorry. R.I.P. to his grandma.
I mean, us girls do the FBI skills and sometimes we get it wrong. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is.
Yeah, no, exactly. Speaking of grandmas, what an interesting...
Where's this going? Someone ghosted a grandma.
Speaking of grandmas, no, so I have like such a funny story, basically.
Okay.
I do a lot of ghosting, like I said, but I do also get ghosted a lot. And this one guy that I basically, I had an interesting situation with him, and then I couldn't get over it. And he was like, come on now. And like, I was messaging him, and I was like, I still like you, like when I was drunk. And then he'd like say, look, we can't, this isn't working. I don't want to do this. And then I'd message him again and again. And then I'd ring him like on Facebook. And then,
Ellie.
I know. And then he eventually blocked me. And I was like, fair enough. I don't blame you. I'm not surprised he didn't call the police, to be honest. But then, I then went on another night out and I thought, I know, I'll message him from my best friend's phone because he's not blocked her. So I messaged him. I messaged him from that.
I want to hit you.
No, but the worst thing was at that bit, and it gets worse. But the worst bit was here. This was 4 years ago.
All right, okay.
I was 22. Yeah, 23, 22.
It's psychotic.
Yeah, a bit crazy. Right. Yes. So so I messaged him off my best friend's phone, but the worst thing is that I signed it like I wrote a message and I put 311 like I3 so that it was like in code. I was like, then I don't know why I did that. Like I thought that he like wouldn't realize it was me, but would maybe still. I don't know. I'm like I was cracking up at this point. Anyway, did that, so that was cringe enough on its own. And then.
Could you just not accept the ghosting? Or is it
I
couldn't
really accept. I was in love with him. Okay. To be fair to me, I was completely
yeah. When you
head
really
over
like
heels
someone
in
and
love.
they ghost you, that is just so bad.
Like I was, I'd kind of been led into a situation where I thought it was one thing and it wasn't, and then I was completely blindsided and then just screwed over basically. So I don't put all the blame on myself, but at the same time, I then eventually what I had to do was give him a list of every single person whose phone that I could possibly access to message him on, and that included my grandma's. So he then had to block my grandma on Facebook. He blocked Maureen.
Ellie, I'm dead. Why did you keep contacting him?
I don't know. I mean, this whole situation happened.
No, Ellie, I'm sorry, but I draw the line.
Yeah,
this whole story.
I know. This whole thing happened when I was in my party girl, like, crazy phase where I'd go out and get
doesn't
blackout.
help because I send drunk texts.
And it was always when I was drunk. Like, I could control myself normally, and then when I get blackout, I'd just, like...
Let's, like, girls listening as well, like, let's face it, we've all done the whole, like, when you're drunk, like, you think of something to, like, randomly send them, but, like, to get their attention.
I know, yeah, or, like...
And it's really cringy.
Like, oops, sorry, I sent that to the wrong person.
Oh,
my God.
Have
you ever sent a message to a guy and you've put, like... hey, I'll be there in 5 or something like that. But it's not for him. You're just pretending you've got another guy.
No, I was young. I was in year 8 and I was like, I loved this. No, I was in year 7. The boy was in year 8. I was like, year older than me. I'm in love. But how do I like get to speak to him? Yeah. We had like a couple texts, but yeah, he kept ghosting me because he wasn't interested. I sent this whole text as though I was like, yeah, I'm on my way home now. Like, is this? I was talking to my sister. It was like a paragraph. I don't know. I got really deep into the lie. And then I sent it to him and was like, oh, sorry, wrong person.
I know, exactly. And then you can just...
I think that's the most pathetic thing I've ever done.
I think you can just you can write them a paragraph. So if you pretend you're messaging a friend, you can just drop little things in there and you think, oh, and he's going to see that and he's going to think I'm seeing someone else and he's going to be really jealous. Then he's going to finally contact me and say, let's go on a date. But that never, ever happens because they don't care.
They don't care. They're ghosting you because they really don't care.
Yeah, they're ghosting you because they really
don't care.
Yeah.
They've done.
But how annoying is it when they've ghosted you and like you've gone through this whole trauma of them abandoning you and you're feeling like really sad and then like a year later they suddenly start with the fire emojis. They're suddenly fire emojis to every story. And you think, what are you doing? You know, leave me alone. Yeah. Leave me alone. I've had enough.
Yeah. Boys that do that, I think they're just like the epitome of boys, though.
Yeah.
And they do it with every girl. And they'll like talk to them a bit, then ghost them, then talk to someone else, ghost them.
Sometimes
fire emoji to loads of girls' stories. I do feel like we all secretly love a fire emoji because it's like we put that up for a reason. Yeah. So like my heart skips a beat when it happens, but you know that he's doing that to like at least 20 other girls' stories.
Yeah, and then you're just like annoyed.
So like, I don't know. I feel like my faith in men has just got less and less because maybe they are just replying to your story, but they're defo not.
No, I think if they were replying to just your story, they'd do something better than a fire emoji.
Yeah. You know to be fair, so I said I was like really upfront and I like don't like ghosting. I'd rather someone be like cutthroat. Yeah. So I had something happen to me recently. So I went on a date with this guy recently. Really enjoyed the date. And then we saw each other again, but his replies haven't been like the best. Okay. So I was like kind of matching, like I said, it's not like I'm going to ghost him because I like him, but I'm going to match his energy. We'll see. But I really want him to just, text me all day, every day. Yeah. And then this other guy asked me out and I was like, I'm not going to go because I like this other guy and I don't do the whole serial dating thing. And then my friends were like, this other guy's not even asked you out again yet. So why wouldn't you go? Mm-hmm. So I went on this other date. We ran into the guy I went on the first date with on the date, right? And we saw him in the queue. My whole energy and just aura just left my soul. I was like, I don't know what to do. I felt so anxious because I was like, no, I actually really like him. Yeah. But I've gone on this date because... So honestly, I basically then absolutely ruined the date I was on.
Did you? Why?
Because I just it just turned into. So we went to another bar because I was like, we can't go in this bar. It's just gonna be
my other boyfriend's here. We can't go in this bar. Yeah, literally.
Well, I didn't. So I was like, the queue's just really long. Let's go try another bar. Blah blah blah. So we went to another bar and my friends were in there and I was like, oh my god, so I went in the bar, went straight to my friends and I was like, this has just happened. I don't know what to do. And I was like, what do I do? And they were like, just hang out with us and like he might get the hint, this guy that you're on the date with. And I was like, oh, but I don't want to be horrible to him. Anyway, I just completely messed up. I basically ended up having like a girls' night out and pieing him off. And then the next day I had he was like, can we call? This is the guy I was on the date with the night before. And I was like, oh, I'm really busy because I just didn't want an awkward conversation. But I was like, no, definitely we will talk. And then I just sent him a voice note and was like, look, I am so sorry for what happened yesterday. I explained, I was like, we ran into a guy that I've been on a date with recently and I just didn't know how to react or what to do. I totally reacted wrong. He literally was like, voice note me back. He went, I'm going to give you some feedback. On the date.
It's like a job interview.
I was like, I'd rather you just ghost me at this point. That's what I mean.
Please just ghost me.
So I'm going to give you some feedback. Take it if you want or don't if you don't want. He was like, if you run into someone that you're dating or have dated and you're out with me, just be on it. And he gave me a list.
Was it bullet points?
It was a PowerPoint presentation. It was pretty much PowerPoint presentation in a voice note. Okay. I just didn't know how to react. I was like, I literally was like, yeah, sorry, because I was just at this point, I'm done. I didn't even know if I wanted a second date with you anyway, and he was making me out, and I was like, I'd rather you just ghosted me. So in that instance, I was like, but then the other guy. He I was trying to save it. I was on my phone trying to salvage it. It's not what you thought. Let me explain to you. And then we kind of didn't speak for a few days. I was like, oh, he's ghosted me. I was like, great.
You're like, it's my cousin.
I was like, I've been ghosted twice in one weekend. This is why I just don't serial date. Yeah. But then he did actually pop up and was like, the first guy that we ran into, he popped up and did invite me out a few days later. Okay. So maybe he just needed a few days to get over it. And then obviously I explained the whole situation to him. So not been ghosted from him officially yet, but we'll see. So yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, nightmare. That's why you don't serial date. That's why I gave up my 7 boyfriends.
That's the first time I've ever done that as well. And I have friends that serial date all the time. Yeah. And they're like, you're just really unlucky.
That is probably really unlucky. I mean, I don't think I do serial date.
It put me off for life. I'm gonna just date one person at a time from now on. Yeah. But so in that instance I was like, you could have just ghosted me. I feel like it's acceptable to ghost after one date. But if you've had 2 dates,
I don't know. I think after one date you still need to be
I don't think I would ghost if I've been on a date. I would if they carried on, I'd be like, look, I just but then it is awkward to be like, I don't want a second date. Yeah. The whole thing's just awkward. I understand why people do ghost.
At least if they ghost you, you can make up a lie in your own head. Instead of thinking, oh, there's something wrong with me and he's told me he doesn't like me because of this, you can just pretend like he's moved to Alaska or died.
The thing is, if I went on a first date and I really had a good time and he ghosted me, you'd be a bit like, oh, well, I had a really good time, so what? But then, I don't know, I'm just a bit of I'm a realist, and I just think, well, I was just obviously not their cup of tea.
That's really good. Like, I wish I was like you, but I'm too unhinged, and I think that's why, honestly, I don't date, because I am I'm too much of a liability. Like, I had another guy where I just couldn't get over it. Like, they try and it's not that they try and ghost you, but you know when you can just tell someone's not interested anymore. Because like this guy would go on then
I think that's worse when they kind of still talk to you, but you know they're not interested. It's like, at this point, just ghost me.
I know, because we go on nights out together and stuff, because we'd be in like the same friendship group, and like we'd get with each other on nights out, but literally he just was not interested in me at all. Like this one time,
it was like a drunken thing.
And for me it wasn't. For me it was like, oh, this is the love of my life. But there was like this one time that we kind of came home from the club together, like whatever happened, wink wink, anyway, and then he was like, after that he was like, right, I'm going back to the club, and I was like, and I thought,
right, so sounds like me, I'm dead.
I was prepared to, oh yeah, that is you.
Well, I'm back out now.
I was prepared to snuggle. I was like, right, we're going to spoon and cuddle. And he's like, right, I'm off back out with the lads. So I was like, oh, hold on a minute. There's girls at that club. I'm like, I'm coming. So I go, and I'm really drunk. So I go in.
No, it is back. If you go home with someone from the club, don't then go back
out. No, but I follow him back to the club.
No, I'm dead.
No, I do. And I go in, and I'm like going in, and then I get to the toilets, and I look in the mirror, and I've got like one eyelash is missing, like one hoop is missing.
No.
And I'm like, what am I doing? And obviously he obviously wasn't trying to ghost me, but it's like, he obviously wasn't interested. And it's like, I just keep going. I'm like, no, I'm just going to keep going, because eventually if I hang out with you long enough, you will decide that you like me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, that can work for some people.
Yeah, but
I'm not saying I'm like him, but like when I'm drunk, I will like kiss boys or like, and then like the next day, and you've got and you're like, I don't even know who this is. Texting me.
But we did speak sober too. Like we was like,
fair.
We knew each other, and I don't know. We cuddled sober maybe once, and
he was just he was just like using you for when he wanted.
Yeah, because
basically
when he was sober once, I was in the club, and I was like, oh, I wish he was here, because I knew we'd like kiss and like, you know, just
that's
be nice.
why I do have a little bit of respect for ghosters.
Why?
In terms of like, they don't lead it on.
Yeah.
Like,
I know what you mean.
Do you know what I mean? Like, at least, like, if someone's just like, you know, I'm not interested, I'm not speaking to him. I've got the message, I've got the hint. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas like when someone's trying to like they're obvious, and I feel like I can fall into this category as well, because I don't like ghosting. So then you try and fizzle it out, but then I've been on the other side of someone trying to fizzle it out, and it's not nice, because you're like, well, are we still talking, or are we not still talking? Like, is there still a chance? Is there not a chance? Whereas if someone just clean ghosts, you're like, okay, it's done.
I think that is the problem. Like, a lot of the time, it's like they're still kind of entertaining it, because they want that attention, and they want a bit of like excitement when they're drunk and stuff like that. So like,
when girls 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 aren't responding,
exactly, it's quite time for girl 6, and that's me.
And I fall into the trap every time.
I know, and I'm like, oh, he finally loves me.
Oh, he loves me.
Yeah,
he does love me. What was all the worry about?
This one time with that same guy, like, he messaged me at like 8 a.m. I remember I was at McDonald's drive-thru getting a McDonald's breakfast, and he'd been out, and he'd got in from the sesh at 8 a.m. and he was like, so do you want to come round? And I was like, I'm on my way. I'm like, do you want a bacon McMuffin? An egg and bacon McMuffin? I'll bring you one. And then, but the one time he was sober, because he was like, it wasn't clear, like the signs weren't clear. And like I like just kept ringing him when I was drunk, and he was at home sober.
I feel like there's a repeating pattern here.
Yeah, I know, but
I feel like you maybe need to change this going forward.
I know. Well, this is why I don't get drunk anymore. This is why I don't drink like I used to, because I'm not good on alcohol. Like I'm so fun, but I'm not good. Like I will end up with a restraining order. So like
I feel like you would.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
I know. I ended up at his house. Like I was like, oh, he's not answered, so he must want me to show up. So then I get a taxi to his house. I know.
If he's not answered, I would never assume that they wanted me to show up.
No, I did. I was like, he wants me there. Like he must be playing hard to get.
I'm dead. I can't. No,
but this isn't a guy that's just like, you know, a random guy. I've got with him like a lot of times. I've got with him a lot of times. Like we're in this will they won't they situation, and I'm like, well, surely you wouldn't just ghost me. But the truth is, they will just ghost you.
Oh, of course they will.
Yeah.
Honestly, if they're not interested, cut throat.
Yeah.
But then I do feel like girls are now becoming just as bad. But yeah, I don't know. I have friends that ghost people, and they're like, well, why would I talk to them if I'm not interested? And then that's what I mean. I'm like, I do understand why people ghost. Like,
yeah.
Because back in the day, if you went on a date with someone and like you had to do the whole like meet them again or this, that, like, well, if you just don't hear from them, they're not interested. So I do kind of, I see pros and cons with it.
I think as I've matured, so back then, when I've got all these crazy
when
stories,
you're younger, it's so hard to take a ghost.
Yeah, I used to be the ghosty. Yeah. But now I am the ghoster.
So what's your reason? Like, what's like the pettiest reason you've ghosted, or what's like you have maybe been getting on with? Have you like ghosted someone that you've been on dates with?
No. Have I? Maybe like who I've been on one date with, yeah. But I haven't ghosted them because like they'll wish me like a happy birthday and I'll say thank you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so but you initially ghosted
the situation. Yeah, but like I didn't like block them or anything. It kind of just fizzled out. Like, yeah, because like this guy I went on a date with, like I went on a date with him. It was okay. Like we just, the vibe wasn't quite there. And then I did still sleep with him though, because I just did. And then after he'd left, like where I was, like we'd done the deed and he left, like he said, we was talking about true crime, but the first thing that he sent me was a link to like this true crime guy that had like loads of people, like got killed loads of people. Sorry, I couldn't find the word. I was just
where's this going?
For anyone that's listening, I was just doing like a stabbing motion, thinking.
I had no. I just thought she was like stretching her out. I didn't know what you were
doing some Pilates. No, and so he just sent me like a true crime documentary thing, and I was like, I don't know if that's the first thing I want to see after I've just, you know, given you my body. I don't know if that's the first message I want to get. And then I think we had a couple of messages exchanged and he wanted me to see him again. And then I just said, oh yeah, we'll arrange something. And then I never ever arranged it.
And then you kind of like, yeah.
Which I feel like is quite an easy way to, you know.
Yeah, I know, that's true.
And this guy's a very good looking guy. So I don't think he has any problem with like, he probably had a date the next day.
Yeah.
Ouch.
No, that came out.
He did not care about you.
Didn't even care. No, I mean, yeah, like maybe he didn't even care. Like, yeah, because that's the thing when someone does. When I have been ghosted before, and I've been like, oh, thank God, it means I don't have to do it. Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes you're like, oh yeah, I didn't. Oh, thank God, because that means I'm the good one now, and that, like I don't have to be the one to be like, by the way, it's well, but you're done.
Yeah, I guess it can be like quite a relief. Especially if you
because I hate the whole like dating thing and then you're not getting on with them. I would honestly rather someone ghost me than me, because I know I'm not just gonna ghost them. I would have to, my moral compass is like, no, you have to be like, oh, I'm just not, you have to give them a reason. So I just, sometimes I'm like glad when a guy ghosts, because then I'm just like, oh, I didn't have to be the one to do the awkward conversation. So I'm like, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for ghosting me.
Unless I really,
no one else ever.
Unless I really, really, really like you.
Yeah, that's
unless
the thing.
I'm low-key in love with you.
And it's always the ones that you really, really like that ghost you, and it's always the ones that you don't like that just like are still there. It's like hanging onto your leg, like, hey,
maybe we're the problem.
Maybe we're the problem.
It's not the one.
But I feel like we're not the only ones.
We're not. Some of you guys have written in about your ghosting stories. So let's have a little look and listen and see what Ellie thinks of these. Let me see.
I'm excited to hear.
So, Are you ready?
Okay.
My friend set me up with this one guy 3 weeks after my 8-year relationship ended. I thought, okay, why not? Get out there, so I did. The guy was super nice over text. Then we decided to meet in person. I went to his house and he was shorter than me when he told me he was 6 foot. And then in brackets, I'm only 5'6".
Okay.
And he's shorter than her. I'm already ghosted. I'm already clocked out. So she said, not sure why he lied about his height. Then he sent me pics, so I knew what I was working with. Well, joke's on me because I don't know whose pics he was sending me, but it wasn't his. When he whipped it out, it was a micro. I legit got up and put my clothes on, walked out the door without saying a word, then never spoke to him again.
My God.
She's literally just like got up, left, never spoke to him again.
Well, thing is, I feel like there'll be people that are like, oh my God, well, she's body shaming, like she shouldn't have ghosted. But the thing is,
lied about his height.
He's lied. That's the thing. If you're gonna, you know, nobody's body is perfect. We've all got things that maybe we wish
you
we
have a
could
criteria
change.
that you like and you wouldn't date. Because the guy I did go on a date with recently, I was running a little bit late, so he was playing a joke on me. But obviously, and I was waiting on my Uber, and he texted me being like, "Oh, by the way, my Hinge messed up. I'm 5'9", not 6'6".
I
messed up. I know. I nearly cancelled my Uber, and then I was like, "Are you joking?" He was like, "Well, you find out." And I was like, "Well, now I'm really shallow if I, like just." Don't go. But I was like, well, no, because I wouldn't have even matched you if you were 5'9".
That's the thing. It's like, if you're gonna lie, there's no point lying about what you look like or things about you, because if you're gonna meet someone, they're gonna see you.
Yeah,
they need to. And as much as
I think she has every right to ghost him.
It's not just about the physical, but that stuff is important. And you do, when you first match with someone on a dating app or look at someone and think, okay, I'd like to get to know them, you're gonna go on physical appearance.
Well, you do, of course. We all go on physical appearance when off the first. Like, I'm not saying, like, personality for me is more important in the long run. But I'm matching you on a dating app because you match the criteria that I'm looking for looks wise, because I don't know anything about you yet. So, and sending someone else's pics,
that's wrong.
Very weird.
Who's was that?
I have no idea. Who pics he was sending, But yeah, no, I think she has every right to ghost.
Absolutely. I'm all for the ghosting there.
Well done for ghosting. No, I'm just too, I wouldn't have had the audacity to actually just get up, not say a word and walk out. I think I'd have had to like...
Do it.
Well, I don't know.
I would.
No, I wouldn't have maybe done it, but I wouldn't have like just like got up and walked out. I'd have like... Because I'm just too nice. I'm like, I'd have been like so awkward, but... I guess you, girl. It's like, if you lie to me, I'm walking out.
If it's there and it's staring you in the face, I don't think you've got much more option than to either... You've only got two options, haven't you?
Well,
just get out of there.
No, I am dead. I am no. I mean, fair play to her. Right, we've got another one.
Okay.
Okay, so she said, I once got talking to someone on Tinder story. I arranged a first date with him and booked a table. Oh, see, she's booked the table. I feel like that's a red flag anyway. But maybe not. She put, on the morning we were supposed to be meeting, he blocked me.
What? What? Why? Well, I don't get that. I've heard that happen to people. I don't understand.
On the morning they were supposed to meet, he's blocked
her.
See, guy, I think that's a reoccurring thing, because whenever I have a first date with someone, I need like confirmation on the day, like twice to think. I need confirmation in the morning or whatever that it is like going to happen, and then I kind of need, before I start putting my makeup on or like I need them to be like, oh yeah, I'm doing this and then I'm on my way, or I need them to be like, the table's booked for, like, give me some confirmation, because like that has happened to me before where guys just like don't go through with the first date. But yeah, to block you, he's obviously thought, I don't want to go and I can't face telling
I can't face it. Yeah,
I can't face being like, oh, by the way, I'm not coming. So he's cowarded out there. Chickened out. Cowarded out. I don't know.
Why do you, like, what do you think happens, like, when a guy does that? Why? Do you think they've got a wife?
No, I think no. Like, I just think they're genuinely...
They're just anxious or...
chickened out. They're like absolute wusses. I think they've genuinely thought, I can't be bothered with that. Or they've got better plans, like their mates. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So instead of like being, a decent human, being like, look, this has come up, can we reiterate? He obviously just wasn't that interested.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, no offence, but He just thought, can't bother with this. I'm not even interested to like ask, like rearrange something. So, delete.
Wow. I hope that never ever happens to me. See, this is what I do. Like I say, I avoid ever going on the date because then that's never going to happen. Not gonna
No, but you got to get yourself out there.
I know I do. I'm going to be single forever with 27 cats. But
No,
it would make for great
You're
TikTok content, wouldn't it?
I mean, yeah, true. But yeah,
that's what I have to think.
You can't let the fear of ghosting stop you from finding like.
Yeah, I guess so. I could though.
The worst though is when they say they are going to call or they are going to text and then they don't.
Yeah.
Like, why did you lead me on like that?
Rude. Well, I have one here.
Yes.
So, okay, this is the first time I am reading it. I went on about 7 dates with a guy, and it seemed to be going really well. He appeared keen, messaged all the time, video called, arranged dates.
This sounds promising.
Mm-hmm. We are both 31, so he's a grown man.
Yeah.
I stayed at his, he cooked dinner for me. I didn't sleep with him until the last day. After that, I never heard from him again. I honestly give up with men. He was 31, not 21, old enough to know better.
That's
Absolutely.
the typical he just wanted to...
But I feel like to go through that effort of going on...
Some guys like the chase.
Yeah,
and then the minute it's done...
True.
But, like, no, I feel so bad. Like I say, you're 31, you've actually, like, let someone get feelings. If you're actually, like, putting time... That's what I mean. And I think that type of ghosting is so shameful. Like, you shouldn't be doing that. I mean, you're 31, grow up.
Yeah.
But, like, if you've actually been going on dates... That person's been getting to know you. Like, she obviously waited, so she wasn't... It means something to her.
Yeah.
And you've just got what you wanted, and then...
Yeah.
It reminds me of Friends with Benefits.
I was going to say that. I actually watched that the other day,
Yeah, the 5-date rule, and then he just never spoke to her.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah, and I know that was...
Like, this is why... Sorry, I interrupted. This is why girls have, like... A thing of like, oh, I can't sleep with him on the first day, or this date, because then they'll think, or they'll just ghost me, or they'll think I'm this, or it's like, it's just so annoying.
Yeah, I know. I think, yeah, what I was going to say was, if that happens to Mila Kunis, I know that was like it's not a real life, but it still happened to Mila Kunis in the film. Like, just know it's nothing to do with you. Yeah. They're just out there to have sex.
I really want to know. I want to get in touch with him and be like, what was the reason?
What was the reason?
Probably because he had sex with her and thought, okay, I'm done with that now.
Yeah, it's just harsh, isn't it? Like, because you think then you're gonna, even though it's nothing deeper than just they wanted to have, and now they've had it. She's gonna question herself.
And that's what I mean. Sad. That's what's sad about it, because
that's what
I feel like that's what leads from all ghosting. Sometimes you question yourself.
Yeah.
But if we can learn anything from today's podcast, like, don't. They're just not interested, and that's fine. Like, it's sucks, but there's someone for everyone, and they were just not for you.
And don't show up at the house. Don't make them. Block
don't
your
follow in
grandma.
Ellie's footsteps.
No, and that's not me anymore. But don't follow in younger Ellie's footsteps, because she is lucky to be not in prison.
Just always remember, if they have ghosted you and you do want to do that drunk text, or you do want to do that, like, because we've all been there.
Yeah.
I mean, I still want to do all that stuff, but now I'm just mature enough to know. No, I always remind myself, if he wanted to, he would. So that's what you've got to remind yourself. Oh, I've really enjoyed this.
Yes, it's been
a little bit of ghosting talk. But yeah, make sure you follow us, Getting Over It Pod, on TikTok and Instagram, and tune in for next week's episode, because we'll be actually talking about our own social media journeys and like how we got into it, how it's affected our mental health, because we get asked about that quite a lot. So yeah, thanks for listening.
Yeah, thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.
Next week.
Bye.